on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. They asked Benjamin Disraeli, a man out after 10 o'clock. They said, how did you do it? How do you achieve it against such great odds? He said, nothing can resist the will of a people that will stake even their existence on the extent of their purpose for good. That when you have a made-up mind, when you decide that you want to do something, I was reading something the other day, he said, the power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, this is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you. When you're hungry, you don't care about the fact. Doug Williams played for the Washington Redskins, quarterback. John Elway of the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl. Everybody was talking about Elway. After the Super Bowl, when Doug Williams made a historic passing game, they asked him, said, how were you able, in spite of all of that negative publicity saying that you couldn't win, how did you do it? He said, I ignored my critics. I just didn't pay any attention to them. I ignored myself because they kept on saying it so much. There were times I doubted whether or not I can do what I needed to do. There's a Doug Williams in everybody here. There's greatness in you. And you've got to learn how to tune out the critics outside and the critic inside. And since I'm going to do this, I'm going to harness my will. And I'm not going to let anything stop me. I deserve this. I'm going to do it until. And this, if you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. When crises strike in your life, and in the Chinese language, crises mean danger, but it also means opportunity. And this is an opportunity for you to grow. And you've got to be so relentless, regardless of what comes down the pike, that you're always looking for a way to get over, always looking for a way that you can break through, always looking for a way that you can win, always looking for a way that you can strike a telling blow.
It's easy to go through life thinking of all the reasons why we can't be successful, why we won't get well, why we'll never meet the right person. We look at our situations in the natural and think the odds are against us. I talked to a man that struggles with an addiction. He said, Joel, my dad had this same addiction. My grandfather struggled with it. The odds don't look too good for me. But as long as you think the odds are against you, you'll get stuck where you are. You have the most powerful force in the universe breathing in your direction. God has crowned you with favor. He has armed you with strength for every battle. He wouldn't have allowed that difficulty if He wasn't going to turn it around and use it to your advantage. The odds may be against you, but the Most High God is for you. He is a supernatural God. He parts Red Seas. He turns water into wine. He opens the eyes of the blind. Your circumstances may look impossible, but the God who can do the impossible is working behind the scenes, arranging things in your favor, turning negative situations around. Since God is for you, that means the odds are for you. Don't go through life thinking, not me, Joel. I come from the wrong family. The odds are against me. No, turn it around. I've been born into a new family. My Heavenly Father controls the universe. I have royal blood flowing through my veins. When you know the odds are for you, you'll put your shoulders back. You'll carry yourself with confidence. You'll expect to do great things. All through the day, this should be playing in our mind. The odds are for me. I'm destined to accomplish my dreams. I'm destined to overcome this challenge. I'm a child of the Most High God. But don't be surprised when you find yourself in situations where it feels like the odds are against you. You don't see a way out. There aren't any logical solutions. God puts us there on purpose so that when He turns it around, nobody will get the credit except Him. everyone will know it is the hand of the Lord. And when your circumstances seem impossible, instead of being discouraged, God, why me? No, get ready. You're in perfect position for God to show out in your life. He is setting you up to show His favor in amazing ways. Now quit complaining about what didn't work out. Why am I facing these huge giants? Those obstacles that look like they're stopping you, if you'll stay in faith, it's just a matter of time before God turns them around and uses them to push you forward. The odds are against you for one reason, so that God can bring great glory out of your life. He wants to make you an example of His goodness. You remember when the 3 Hebrew teenagers wouldn't bow down to the king's golden idol? This king got so furious, he was going to have them thrown into a fiery furnace. He told his men to heat up the fire 7 times hotter than normal. What was God doing? Making the odds even greater. God knew the fire wasn't going to burn them. He knew they weren't going to be harmed. So He had them turn it up even hotter so that it would become a greater miracle. And when these 3 Hebrew teenagers came out of that fire without the smell of smoke, there wasn't any doubt that the Lord was on their side. In fact, this same king said, "Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego," those 3 Hebrew teenagers. When it feels like the odds are against you, the fire's been turned up 7 times hotter, Pharaoh won't let you go, God took your army from 32,000 to 300 men, don't panic, don't fall apart. It's a setup. God is about to show out. He's about to make you a testimony. He's going to do something that people cannot deny. They're going to know the Lord is on your side. I talked to a man that cut his hand and developed a severe infection. He tried for several days to tough it out and hope that it would go away, but it kept getting worse. He started running a high fever. He got to the point where he couldn't eat. He finally passed out. He was rushed to the emergency room unconscious. The doctors told his family that he had some kind of toxic shock. There was only a 50% chance that he would live. They had to find the right kind of antibiotic to treat him. Every hour that went by not treated, his chance of survival went down 5%. They didn't find something in the next few hours. The doctors said that he probably wouldn't make it. And if somehow he did survive, he would become a vegetable. 12 hours went by. They couldn't find the antibiotic. One day, still nothing. 264 hours later, they finally found the right treatment. He wasn't supposed to still be alive. He was told he would never be able to walk, talk, function properly, but today he's perfectly healthy. You would never know anything was wrong. But God could have healed him the first day. The doctors could have found the right treatment the first few hours. That would have still been a great miracle. But sometimes God will let the odds grow greater to where you don't see a way out. Then suddenly God will step in and make things happen that you could never make happen. Don't let the odds fool you. Don't let the fact that you don't see a way, the financial situation looks too far gone. You've tried to break that addiction for years. Now you think it wasn't meant to be. No, get ready. This is a setup. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to stir your faith up. All through the day, Lord, thank you that you're bigger than this sickness, greater than this addiction, more powerful than these opponents. If you'll stay in faith like this man, there may be odds against you in certain areas, but they cannot stop you. God has destined you to leave your mark. Don't let the odds discourage you. Don't let what you think is not going to happen talk you out of believing. Even if the odds are 0 in a million, all God has to do is speak and the odds change in your favor. The odds may be against you. You don't see any way your situation could work out, but God has the right people already lined up. The gifts He's put in you, the dreams, they didn't get canceled.